Summernats. It's a portmanteau of summer and nationals, so it won't be any surprise that the event is held in the middle of our Australian summer right here in our nation's capital. No, it's not Sydney, nor is it our second best city, Melbourne. It's this picturesque place behind me, Canberra. Located sort of in the middle of nowhere, the only reason for Canberra's existence is politics. It was specially built to house our Parliament House and all of the government infrastructure that goes around it. And because of that, it's a very boring place. They've tried to spice it up with some roundabouts. Big roundabouts, little roundabouts, dirt roundabouts, roundabouts with lights and other things on it, but it hasn't really worked. It's still very boring. That is, until Summernats comes to town. So let's head down that road there to Exhibition Park in Canberra, or EPIC for short, and check out what's going on. Well, this is it. This is Summernats. It's a massive 4-day event of car culture. It's so big, we thought we'd give you a Haltech guide on how to Summernats. So, cruising Northbourne Avenue, the main street of Canberra in the old VC. Tavis, thanks for having us along.
Ah, not a problem at all.
This is very cool.
Thanks, yeah.
But you're not really like an old valiant guy, are you? You've got a VW tattoo on you, so I'm assuming you're a VW.
Yeah, look, I do prefer my Volkswagens, but I've always liked the old Vals. And especially growing up and being in Watson my whole life and seeing this cruising around, I've always said, that's sort of something I want, along with my love for Volkswagens. So
as a local, so a lot of locals I feel have a bit of animosity towards Summernats, but...
Yeah, they're the ones that don't enjoy the cars and the noise. And you know, if you don't want to enjoy that, move somewhere that's not close.
Okay, let's talk some numbers. About 100,000 people come to Canberra for Summernats. Now, Canberra has a population of 400,000 people, so that's a full quarter of the population again, just for this weekend. Bearing in mind that we're in Australia and our whole population is only 25 million people, so it's a really big deal. Obviously there are cool cars in the Macquarie's Pavilion and in the Show and Shine, but just walking around you can see all sorts of hidden gems like this supercharged Monaro. Or a Lincoln Continental with a Ford Barra turbo. Classic American muscle. Classic Aussie muscle. Classic JDM. Ruddy pickups. Proper hot rods. And even obscure French rally cars like this Alpine Renault. This really is a car show for everyone. One style of vehicle that's fairly unique to Summernats is this Summernats Cruiser. Now we want to start with something that's fairly big so we can fit in as many mates as possible. We then stick an esky in the back, we chop the roof so we can see a nice view, and then usually we put some provision in here for an umbrella because, as we said, it gets hot in Canberra. Whack a bright colour on it, get it out on the cruise loop, and do as many laps as you possibly can all weekend. Mick, where have you come from for Summernats this weekend?
We come from Newcastle. We live around the Hunter Valley.
Okay, and not your first Summernats?
No, we've been coming here for quite a few years now. Yep. This is the 4th year I've had Deathy here. So
Deathy's the hearse. Deathy's the hearse. And you've driven this all the way from Newcastle?
Yes.
It's about a 5-hour drive.
About a 5-hour drive, yep.
Mate,
not a problem at all.
What makes someone buy a hearse? You know there were dead people in it, right?
Oh yeah, people die in ambulances.
That's very true.
Yeah, that's just a transporter.
Very true, okay.
Yeah, all good.
Just the desire to be a bit different?
Well, it's the ZF Fairlane.
Okay.
I've always loved the ZF Fairlane. My dad had one. I learned to drive in a ZF Fairlane. This one came up many years ago for sale. I tried to get it then, it disappeared. Then a year later it came up again. So I grabbed it while
And
I
you
was
snapped
there.
it up.
Yeah, I just love big cars. That's about, don't get much bigger than a hearse.
Yeah, and you've got a coffin in there.
Got a coffin in there.
It's empty?
It's got Bones in there. Bones is our medical full skeleton we've got.
Okay.
He usually sits in the front seat, but I haven't had him out this year. He's just slept in the back, nice and quiet.
Awesome. Yeah, he's having a bit of a kip.
Yeah, that's it.
Summernats is held on the first weekend of January, which in Australia is right in the middle of summer, hence the name Summernats. Now that means we regularly see temperatures of over 40 degrees Celsius, which is about 105 degrees Fahrenheit. It's hot. That means you don't want to go anywhere without your sunscreen and a hat, like a real hat. Cruising is an integral part of Summernats, and this is the Summernats cruise route. It goes all the way around Exhibition Park, and you can jump in with your mates in some cars, go for a cruise in things that are, let's say, not quite street legal. It's along here that you can hear the famous lumpy idle of a blown V8, especially for Summernats. Let's see if we can catch a ride with someone. And we're lucky enough to have Scotty, star of Street Machine and the Carnage show, to take us for a ride in the world famous turbo taxi. Mate, Summernats and Street Machine have been together for so long.
32 years.
32 years.
Yeah.
What is it for you about Summernats that keeps you coming back? And
It's almost an institution. Well, it is an institution. I mean, I've been personally coming to Summernats since number 8, I think, every year, and I did a year and then a gap. So I've been probably to 26 different Summernatses. So it's kind of, now we're working for Street Machine and we're doing the Carnage thing. Like, I can't go far without running into someone who wants to have a chat, and I love that. It's awesome to just hang out and meet like-minded people. So yeah,
it's amazing how many people just line the streets here at Epic just to watch the cars roll by. I mean, it is the biggest car parade in Australia, without a doubt.
Oh, for sure. But then, you get to take something like Turbo Taxi, and people just love this car. I mean, you just saw it then. You had to pull up anywhere, and people were frothing over what is a 600,000. Listen to it. It's vibrating and stuff. 600,000 Ks this car has done, and so. Thanks, mate.
We're coming around the corner here now. We're coming to what's a new thing here at Summernats, which is Skid Row.
Yeah.
Can you explain a bit about what that is and why that's there?
Well, historically, people have done burnouts on the cruise route, and they're not supposed to, all right? But it's not something they can really stop altogether because it's part of Summernats. So rather than deny it, the Summernats organisers have decided to embrace it and introduce a whole new section called Skid Row, where you can just pull off the side and do a straight line, slow speed, power skid, so to speak. Now, it's a little bit laggy, but it'll just... going though.
It does.
And
so we're in the Turbo Taxi. If you haven't seen it before, check out the Carnage YouTube channel. Tell us a bit about it, man.
Alright, so it all started over a couple of servers, would you believe, Slovakis. We're talking about doing a show like Carnage, and like, what sort of car would we do? Oh, why don't we buy an old taxi, turbocharge it, like an original Melbourne taxi, turbocharge it, but keep it on LPG. Which like, yes, there's been turbo and LPG cars, and there's been taxis turned into race cars, but no one's ever done a taxi on LPG as a race car. So that's what we decided to do. So we found this old banger, paid way too much for it, and
because it is pretty horrible in here, really, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's not. There's holes drilled in it for various gauges and stuff, and she's pretty worn. It has done over 600,000 Ks now.
That's amazing.
And we talked to you guys, and we asked what sort of ECU we'd try, and so Haltech 2500 in there, piggybacked to the original computer. So the factory computer runs the transmission and everything, where the Haltech runs everything else. It's got 12 injectors in it.
Because this is an FG.
Yeah.
But because it's a taxi, it's got a 4-speed.
It's got a 4-speed. Yeah.
See, all the other FGs have got the ZF 6-speed.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's why you've got to have piggyback.
Yeah. This is a unique sort of system. So.
So Jake, where have you come from today?
Come from Blacktown.
Blacktown, Western Sydney, come over to Canberra.
Yeah.
Is this your first Summernats?
Yeah, first time. Oh, sorry. 7 years running.
7 years running,
Yeah.
so not first at all.
Nah.
So what keeps you coming back? What's your favourite part?
Beers and burnouts.
Beers and burnouts, and you're talking beers, you mean VB?
Obviously VB, that's
yeah,
the one.
I can see. And you're going in the mullet competition?
Beautiful, yep.
Beautiful mullet. Well, best of luck with that, mate.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
They don't really do it like us. They don't really live that life. They don't really got that buzz, so we say, oh Lord. Carpe diem, it's about time that they see.
While Summernats is definitely a laid-back car culture lifestyle event, there's certainly a competitive side. There are trophies for elite show cars, for neat street cars, for the toughest cars on tough street, for the dyno competition. There's even a mullet competition, and best of all, the grand champion wins a sword.
And it is what it is, so why you so mad at me, lad? So mad at me, lad. But there's so many rappers that they all started calling me dad.
So, Summernats is essentially a carnival, and with that comes carnival food. There isn't a better person in Oz to talk about food than Alan from the YouTube series Meal Friends. Mate, tell me about this phallic thing that's about to hit my lips.
So don't be fooled, mate. It looks like a waxed banana, but it's not. This two-tone exterior is it's essentially a battered salve on a stick.
Right, so this would be what our American friends would call a corn dog.
Corn dog. I don't think there's much corn in this batter, but we can closely inspect it for a cross section if you like. What do you reckon?
I think we should have a go at it.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
It's so bad.
So, in Australia, these are a Dagwood dog.
Yep.
Or
Pluto pup.
Pluto pup, if you get it wrong. Yeah.
So it's just a sausage,
It's like a Frankfurt, like a hot dog.
like a hot dog,
Yeah.
covered in batter, deep fried, and then dunked half-heartedly into some tea sauce.
And tomato sauce. This is something that our overseas viewers won't be so familiar with.
That's true.
A Chico roll.
The chicken roll, very quintessentially Australian,
Very Australian.
quintessentially Australian takeaway.
Looks like a spring roll.
It does.
You want to grab the other end of that? Well,
Crack it in half.
so what? I've always wanted to know exactly what is in a Chico roll.
Mate, you know what it is? You know what it is?
No,
It's,
I don't.
It's the perfect vessel for chicken salt.
Right.
Whatever's in it, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As long as it's got chicken salt, it's perfect.
And it's just actually vegetarian, isn't it? Like
I think it's cabbage, to be
cabbage
honest.
and carrot.
Carrot and
A bit of peas, maybe.
I didn't.
These, I think, would be a pretty good hangover food.
Yeah.
I think they cure a hangover.
When you want to think about one less thing, as
Yeah.
in what you're eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit greasy, bit salty.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I prefer this to a Dagwood dog.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll wash this down, this salty goodness.
I think we should. That's very good.
Bourbon slushies, mate.
Mark, tell us a bit about the Tirana. It's a 1970s-ish,
77.
77.
It's a genuine SLR. It was originally a 4.2, and I've upgraded it and put an LS1 with a T56. And
Yeah, so manual gearbox, which is interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was interesting putting that in, but it's in now, and as you you've seen me at other events. I do quite a few events with this
We're
car.
going to say you really enjoy this car. I've seen you at things from like 1,000-metre runway sprints right through to hill climbs, motor car. So you really like driving the car.
Yeah.
Most people associate Summernats with burnout. Not really why you're here, is it?
No, this car's not set up. I enjoy the burnouts, don't get me wrong, you know, but this car's not set up for burnouts, but I do all the driving events. So I did the grass driving event yesterday. That was kind of fun, you know,
Yeah.
like I've done it once before, but the grass was actually smooth and it was
was good fun. But I also did the Motorcana, which was on the burnout pad this morning. Hopefully I was competitive.
Yep.
And then,
how do you think you went?
You know what? I think the old Tirana might have given a few people a run for their money. I don't know if I qualified high or whatever it is, but I know when I got back that I'd done. You
were happy.
And there's lots of turns in the steering wheel on the old Tirana. And then tomorrow they've got the Go to Waye.
Yep.
And
you've had a bit of success in the Go to Waye.
Yeah, I've got to the last 3 times in the last 3 years, and I'm hoping this year that I can get my act together enough to get through and maybe be successful.
Take out the top spot.
Yeah, that's
good.
it.
Where have you come from this weekend?
Queanbeyan, just outside of Canberra.
So not far at all?
No, not far at all, mate.
No, very good. And you've brought with you, well, what have you brought with you? What is it?
Well, it's a bit of a bitzer. It's a 720 Nissan chassis with a 2-litre Nissan rally motor in it.
Okay,
carbies?
Cam, head, twin 45mm Webers.
Yep.
It's 4-speed.
What's the body?
The body's a toss-up between a 38 Chev, a 39 Dodge. So that's why I call it a bit of a bitzer.
Definitely.
The back here is actually, believe it or not, a box trailer arse before I changed it to a look-alike.
And you do all the weld yourself and everything?
Yeah.
All bodywork?
Yeah, I'm a panel beater mechanic by trade.
Very nice. And do you come to Summernats a lot? Is it?
Yeah,
it's not your first time, is it?
No, we've been here since Summernats 4.
So, right, that long?
Yeah.
So what about it keeps you coming back? What's your favourite part?
Oh, mate, just we're car enthusiasts and we just keep coming back every year.
And you love it?
Yeah.
The Rare Spares Pavilion is an extremely popular place here at Summernats. Not only is it a great place to get out of the heat, it's also where you can see some of Australia's best products, like the ones we've got at Haltech. That's mint! So the Barra engine is something that we've heard a lot about recently, particularly with our release of our Barra plug-in ECU. It's got a lot of interest in that engine in the USA, and this man, Jason from Tough Mounts, is going to make that happen for a lot of people over there. Tell us about the Fox body, man.
So, as you remember,
yes,
we had this conversation over, well, it was way too many beers.
There were a couple of beers involved, yeah.
And we had the idea of doing the Barra into the Fox body and taking it to America.
Yep.
So, we've started.
So you did it?
We have. Look,
you did. How easy is it to stick the Barra into the Fox body?
It's actually pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. With our Tough Mount conversion kit, it's really easy. So for the standard cross member and the tube front cross member, it's in.
Goes in, get the engine mounts.
It does,
and
yeah.
off you go.
Yeah, so
plug in
engine
an
mounts,
ECU.
gearbox cross member, gearbox mounts, Haltech ECU, all the cool stuff in and done.
And you'll be offering that as a whole kit for the US guys?
Yeah, we will be.
Yeah.
So the aim is to sort of offer everything. So engine mounts, trans mounts, kits, Haltech is all as a package. If people want engines, well, we'll supply them engines as well.
Well, dude, there must be a lot of excited Americans at the moment.
We've been in contact with a lot. They've really sought us out. And we're really surprised and really happy, and a lot of excitement at this early stage. So,
and if someone does want to get in contact with you, how do they go about that?
They can hit us up at our website, toughmounts.com.au, and fire us off an email, and we can pre-register them for any interest that they have.
This is probably one of my favourite cars here at Summernats. From the outside, it looks like a nice, clean 1950s-ish FJ Holden Ute. But then you flip open the front clip, and in there is an LSX with twin turbos. There's a Haltech under the dash. This isn't a show car, it's a street car. But the attention to detail here in the engine bay, all of the fab work, everything means it's really earned its place here in the Maguire's Hall. We're in the Haltech Horsepower Heroes Pavilion. We've already seen dyno runs of over 2,000 horsepower today. Dale from Castle Hill strapped his Commodore on now. He's aiming for 3. Let's see what he can do. Dude, 3,076.9 horsepower.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah?
It was good. I thought it'd make a little bit more, but
still,
we're pretty happy with that. Like,
first car ever to do over 3,000 on a Summernats dyno.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's good.
Got to be happy with that.
Yeah. I'm real happy. I just hope it's enough to hold out the door slammer, you know?
Well, let's hope that you can. Bubba, big man, just rolled the Commodore off the dyno.
Yep.
Big numbers?
Yeah, we just broke the record actually.
Wow.
2,200 and something or other on 37 pound of boost.
It's Friday today,
yes.
So we've still got 2 more days of Summernats.
Yes.
the finals are on Sunday.
Yep.
You've got some in reserve?
Oh yeah, we're going to push this thing to 60 pound if all goes well.
Yeah, wow. So you've done something a bit different. A lot of people, when they've got the old Commodores, they stick an LS in.
Yes.
That's not an LS, that's a Holden motor.
No, it's definitely a Holden motor. It's a 398Q, torque power block, Higgins heads. It works, it really works. And you can't put an LS in these things. Everyone puts an LS.
True.
You got to stick with a Holden.
Yeah,
Try
cool.
something different.
And you're running a Haltech as well. Did you tune it yourself?
Oh no, I do not. I leave that to the professionals. Sticks from Quick Bits does all the tuning. He was actually that helpful that when we had on the dyno, he was on the laptop live feeding.
Yeah,
just
wow.
making sure everything was hunky-dory and just making everything work. He is fantastic. He's got all the time in the world for us, which is great.
Mate, another run on the dyno, more big numbers.
Yep.
The biggest numbers we've seen from a street car here at Summernats ever. You've got to be happy.
Mate, I'm over the moon. Best thing is, it's a Holden motor.
Holden motor, not a Chev?
Not a Chev, Holden.
With a Haltech.
With the Haltech. Would you believe it? It made, thank you so much, made 2,483 horsepower. It hit boost cut on the second run and we had to cut it short because you only get 2 runs, I believe. So we just, that's a run we made. I don't know what the boost is, but it did hit boost cut. Well, boost cut was at, I think it was 55. We put the boost cut at. So if we probably let it keep going, it would have made even more power, but so happy. I'm so happy.
Everyone here is blown away.
Oh, I can't
so
believe
happy for you.
it. And it's still together.
Awesome.
What the hell?
So, what have we learned? At Summernats, we see some elite show cars. We see some sweet street cars. We go for some cruises with our mates. We do a skid. We watch some skids. We watch some mad dyno pulls. We eat some dodgy street food. And we stay out of the sun. And most of all, we have a rad time. I'm Richard for Haltech, and this is How You Summernats.